Hi guys, welcome back to my Genshin Impact Guide. Now I'm gonna talk about the best artifacts for Ayato. Let me say that this list is based on my personal opinion, so take the info with a grain of salt. I also believe that the damage between the first 4 artifacts mentioned here won't differ so much. The first and I think the best artifact for him is Hearth of the Depth. The 2 set effects boost hydro damage by 15%, and I believe this boost is always better than 18% attack boost because Ayato mainly deals hydro damage and his base attack stats is not that great. In the end, even if the 18% attack boost you get from other sets is better, it won't make a huge difference between them and this artifact. So the deciding factor is the 4 sets effect. Hearth of the Depth 4 sets effect increase your normal attack damage by 30% after you use elemental skill for 15 seconds. This is perfect and enough for the entire duration of Taki Meguri Kanka. The last reason to use this artifact is because you farm this piece set on the peak of Vindaknir, the same dungeon where you can farm Blizzard Strayer sets. As you know, the freeze reaction is kinda OP on this game, so by farming this set, you also get artifacts for Ayato's partner candidate. Not to mention, we are gonna get Ayaka rerun soon. So if you plan to get her, then it's good time to farm because you also get a decent set for Ayato. This dungeon is also already available for quite a long time, unlike the echoes of Overing. So you may already have some good pieces for this set. I think, yes, this is the best set, especially if you already have child, you can simply give these artifacts to Ayato for a while, okay? And artifacts farming is kinda tiring after all. The only bad thing for this artifact is it only boosts 30% normal attack damage, which is probably the lowest if you compare it to other artifacts. But I think it's covered by the elemental damage boost effect. The next 3 artifacts have the exact same 2 sets effect, which is 18% attack boost, so the deciding factor is the 4 sets effect. The second best artifact is Shimenawa's Reminiscence. This artifact set provides you with the highest constant normal attack boost, which can make this artifact the most potent artifact for Ayato. However, there's a big downside. You need at least 15 energies to trigger the effect. I can say energy is not Ayato's problem because his passive talent is gonna regenerate 2 energies every second when his energy is below 40. So as long as Ayato has been out for 6 to 7 seconds from the battle, he gonna has enough energy to trigger the effect. This also synergizes well because Taki Meguri Kanka only active for 6 seconds. After that, you need to wait again for 6 seconds before able to use his elemental skill again. But still, with all this energy consumption thing, it will reduce your elemental burst usage frequency. One thing you can do about it is by having nice energy recharge, but you don't want to focus on that. Another thing you need to pay attention is when you use elemental burst. After using elemental burst, don't use your elemental skill immediately because you won't trigger the 4 sets effect. Instead, switch to another character first, so your Ayato is gonna have 15 energy to trigger the 4 sets effect. Don't worry because his elemental burst duration is 18 seconds. So you have plenty of time to get benefit from the normal damage boost buff. Also, if you use Amenoma Kageuchi, then this artifact is really good for you because you will get some energy back when you use your burst. So you can use your elemental skill without switching to other character. This is the reason why I put this maybe not on the first place, okay? Because of little awkward rotation, not being able to use elemental skill after using burst. But if it is not big deal for you, then it may be better than Hearth of the Depth because of the 50% normal attack boost. Another great advantage this artifact has is it is in the same dungeon where you are able to farm Emblem of Severed Fate, which in my opinion one of the best artifacts in this game. The third is Echoes of Overeat. It is a brand new artifact, which means you are only able to farm this just recently. The problem for this artifact is the artifact pairing on the dungeon. Another set which can be farmed from the dungeon is Vermilion Hereafter. The artifact is specifically made for Xiao. So basically, if you don't have Xiao or already have a decent artifact for him, then the artifact dungeon doesn't give you any good artifact or ration value. Echoes of Evering for sets effect itself, not that great. The boost is the highest, 70% normal attack damage. However, the chance is only 36%. The calculation probably not correct, but 36% chance times 70% normal damage boost means about 25% normal damage boost. The actual number is probably higher because you get 20% increased chance every time the effect is not triggered. So yes, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in the end the number will be between 30 to 35% normal damage boost per hit. Not much difference compared to other artifact set, right? The fourth set is Gladiator's Finale. Gladiator is pretty straightforward for Ayato. He uses a sword, so he gets 35% normal damage boost, 5% better than Hearth of the Depth set. The main problem with this Gladiator set is you cannot farm it. Sure, if you are veteran players, then you probably have lots of this artifact and manage to gather decent stats for this set. But if you are unlucky, then there is no way you can farm this because there is no dungeon for this artifact. Sure, you can try to farm bosses, but the rate is lower than farming a dungeon. Yes, you can try to craft this on artifacts strongbox, but in my opinion, it's kinda waste of artifacts because I always use bad 5 stars artifact to level up my good artifact, and from my experience, I always run out of them. Not mentioning if the result is bad, right? It makes this set is kinda lottery. If you have good Gladiator sets, then congratulations, use it and don't need to waste your resin to farm on the artifact dungeon. However, don't try to farm this set by doing boss run, unless of course you also need characters awakening material. The last is Retracing Bollide. So the last one may be quite strange, but remember, Ayato relies on his normal attack, so if you use Zhongli or other shielder on your party, then this one is very good because you can get shield easily and the damage boost is huge, 40%. This set is also good if you use one of the best budget sword, which I forgot to mention on my 4 stars sword tier list video, Harbinger of Dawn. The sword is really good for 3 stars level. However, the problem is it is quite hard to maintain the effect. By using this set, this means you have strong shield and you can maintain your health above 90%. The sword is not good when paired with Bennett as your only healer though, because he can only heal up to 70% health. So make sure you have decent healer if you use this sword on Ayato. So my conclusion for you is, if you already have decent artifact set, which I mentioned before, don't go artifact farming like crazy, because I believe the end result won't differ that much. So your deciding factor should be which other characters also benefit from the second artifact you get from the dungeon. So for example, if you plan to get or use Ayaka, then you need to farm on the peak of Vindaknir, because that's the most efficient usage for your resin. So yep, I think that's all you need to know about the best artifacts for Ayato. There may be other good artifacts for Ayato, but I believe they won't fit Ayato real role. For example, you use Emblem of Severed Fate for Ayato to increase his elemental burst as Hydro Enabler. It can work because it has huge range, but I think that's not the correct way to use Ayato. I will talk about Ayato partner in the next video. So make sure you subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the video when it's up. And please like the video if it is useful for you, and leave a comment if you have suggestions or tips about Ayato artifacts. See you in the next video.